All right, I need to go put this glass in my house and in my store. This is crazy.
Can this hurricane impact window stop rifle rounds from the Sig Spear LT 300 blackout rifle? Working as a professional realtor in South Florida, one of the most common questions that I get is the integrity of a hurricane impact window and door. This is an aluminum frame, powder coat finish. The glass panes are double pane on both sides, kind of like a sandwich. So one glass, inner layer, second glass. These windows have been designed specifically to stop small missile and large missile impact. What is a small missile? That's like a pebble or maybe like a stick. Large missile, in the context of South Florida, is going to be something like a coconut or a 2x4. The way that the manufacturer created these windows was to withstand a Category 5 storm. We have seen videos in the past of when the glass was broken, it will not fracture, it will spider. Can somebody on the other side of the window be safe from a bullet round entering through the glass from the other side? Personally, I think not, but we're gonna find out today and we're gonna answer that question. Today we have firearms expert Mike from We Kick Brass Gun Shop right here in West Palm Beach. Also today we have Mr. Kelly McGee. Kelly is a former professional serviceman as well as a professional firefighter. He has expertise in dealing with these windows, specifically breaking through these windows as a firefighter. Today, as part of today's showcase, we're actually gonna be looking to see how many rifle rounds or pistol rounds it's gonna take to penetrate the glass or even get the glass open enough to where you could penetrate it, meaning reach your hand through. I wanna point something out too that happened recently, which is actually very sad. In a recent act of violence, there was a bad guy who actually gained access to a school by shooting out the commercial glass window. And when he shot the window out, he was able to reach his hand through and touch the panic bar, which popped the door open and gained access to the school. Now there's ways that this right here, this particular instance could have been avoided. I know for a fact that it would have been deterred if the school had impact glass. This particular school wasn't located in Florida, so the impact glass is not part of their building code, but there are other ways that this could have been probably stopped. Mike, do you have any comments about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this should be the least standard that we have when it comes to protecting our loved ones or our homes. If it takes more than one round to go ahead and defeat that, that's absolutely seconds that's gonna allow victims or potential victims to call 911 to get out of the way if they have a firearm to protect themselves and get that gathered up. So I do definitely think that any seconds gained or any ammunition taken away from the shooter shooting at a victim is definitely going to save lives. So every shot into the glass is definitely going to save a life, which that's at the end of the day, that's what everyone should hope for.
Kelly, what do you think?
Absolutely, I agree with Mike. I mean, just a few seconds here and there with some easy deterrents such as the laminated glass, I think is paramount for safety.
Awesome. Mike is going to tell us a little bit about the weapons that we're going to be using here today, as well as the different calibers. All these weapons have different uses.
Absolutely.
Okay. So are these like civilian weapons? Are they law enforcement weapons? Like what are they?
Well, they're commonly available for civilian use. They do have applications in the civilian world as well as the professional world. But yeah, this is all stuff that anyone who can legally own a firearm, they can go ahead and readily pick up. They do have different uses. This would be more of a hunting rifle, even though it is a big, black, scary gun. And this would be more for like your home protection or common use by patrol with the police.
Okay, so this is probably going to be the most common type of weapon that we're going to see just out there in the real world.
Absolutely.
Be it a good guy or even maybe in a bad guy.
Correct, yes.
Situation. Good. All right, Mike, so we're going to go and use our first pistol. What are we shooting with right now?
We're using the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 with a Silencer Co. Sparrow on there, as well as CCI mini mags.
Got it.
Going hot.
I was expecting it to fracture, spider like it did.
Did we get complete penetration on that?
No.
If someone's on the other side of that, though they don't want to be, they'd probably be okay.
Absolutely.
Mike, what's our next round?
The next round we're going to be using is 9mm as the caliber, the Federal HST chambered in 147 grain in the SIG MPX.
Excellent. Let's see what happens.
Range is hot. I mean,
Well, there you go.
How much is spider?
I was not expecting a hole as big as a nickel or a quarter. Well, suffice to say they're not safe behind the glass.
Well, I mean, yes and no. So what we see here is that the glass did maintain its rigidity. Obviously, it's damaged and compromised. However, this is not giving you free access to just bust that down and stick your hand through and open that door. So this could buy some time. If you're directly behind that, I'm sorry, it's not gonna ballistically protect you too much.
Weapon number 3, Mike, what are we shooting with?
We're shooting a Glock 21 SF, chambered in 45 ACP with a silencer coat Octane 45, using 230 grain ball ammo. So this is gonna have the best chance of penetration. Let's go ahead and see what it'll do. Wow.
Wow, look at that. What's interesting about this is that the hole is smaller than what we thought it was going to be, okay? But I noticed that when it went through the glass that we saw a significant amount of glass shoot out the back. So like little glass fragments shot out the back into the dirt. But the integrity of the window is still maintained.
It's still holding up.
At this point, what every manufacturer is going to tell you is that the integrity of the glass has completely been compromised. So whatever rounds that we put through different sections of this glass, the glass is not going to maintain the 100% strength that it would if it were brand new outside of the box. Okay, so we are now on weapon number 4, and this one's gonna be a lot different in that it is both a rifle, a larger round, and we're gonna be using ballistics gel behind the glass. Mike, what are we shooting with? What's going on?
Today we're gonna be shooting the SIG MCX Virtus, chambered in 5.56, using a 62 grain controlled chaos round loaded by Underwood. The suppressor is a SIG SLH suppressor as well, and it is an 11.5 inch barrel. We should be getting about 1150 to 1200 foot-pounds of energy.
Now, what's behind the glass?
We do have FBI ballistics gelatin from clearballistics.com. It is comparable in our tissue and representing what a bullet would do if it were to enter our body. And this is going to be a little bit louder than what you guys are probably expecting. That's great for the round. That is very good, but not so good for whoever's behind it.
No, they're dead.
Yeah, there's no surviving that. That round actually turns into a trident. It's gonna have a bunch of ballistic wound channels that are going out. It shreds. So what happened here is the bullet was deformed enough that it did not actually open up. You do see a couple of the shards there that opened up, but it actually maintained it together for the most part, which means it tumbled rather than opening up. Is it survivable? Yes, that's actually survivable compared to if we shot this into raw ballistics to compare. This is a way different story of what that bullet's supposed to do.
So when it hit the window negatively impacted the integrity of the bullet
100%.
on the way through.
So this bullet was not doing what it was designed to do. It was defeated.
Normally, the bullet would enter into the body and expand, causing massive damage.
Correct, multiple wound channels.
In this case, the window slowed the bullet down, caused it to tumble, and as a result, it didn't expand the way that it's supposed to do. So we're gonna be wounded, just not nearly as bad. And again, we look at the integrity of the glass, which at this time, this particular window pane has now been shot twice, with the most powerful round being the one that we just did. And as you can see, still, bad guy cannot get through the window pane.
Now, I also want to point out that 4 rounds have been shot. That's 4 lives that have been saved, guaranteed. No one could have been hurt by that unless you're directly on the other side.
So we're going into weapon number 5. Mike, tell us about what's weapon number 5.
So we have a bolt action 22 here. It is a Savage Mark II FVSR. It is suppressed with a silencer coast switchback, and we are again using the CCI Minimag, which is the same round that we were using before, of course hollow point, but this is going to have a lot more velocity behind it and a lot more energy. So this is more for hunting, small game, a lot of plinking. It's a very inexpensive round. It's very plentiful. You can stick it in your pocket and go have a day of shooting with it.
Very common to see this.
Super common.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Going hot! There's a lot less lead fragmenting in there, but it did not appear to go through. There's still no exit. This is still pretty rigid. It's not giving as I push in. This is definitely buying some time. And now, again, you have 5 shots that have not taken a life, and you're wasting the shooter's ammunition. God forbid you're in a situation.
Now you know why this window as a whole might cost about $500 from the manufacturer or from the contractor that sold you that.
I mean, $500 is exponentially less than the cost of a life.
Okay, so the time has come and you're probably wondering, well, Joe, what the heck happens when you actually enter an entire magazine into the window. We want to see how it's going to hold up. And remember, the window as a whole, both panes on both sides have already been compromised. The integrity is not as strong as it's supposed to be when it's fresh out of the box.
So we're going back again to the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 using the Silencer Co. Sparrow as well with 10 round magazine.
Awesome. Let's see what happens.
Going hot! We definitely defeated it.
As you can see, these are the holes. They've completely penetrated the glass. They've penetrated the inner layer. But you see how it's like bendy and gooey? You see that? That bendy gooiness? That's the actual inner layer that holds the one pane sandwiched to the other pane. This window layer here in between is what's holding the glass together. It's what's allowing it to not just shatter all over the place as if it was a non-impact window. So overall consensus here, person standing behind it absolutely would have been hit. However, bad guy still can't get through the glass.
That's definitely buying you a lot of time. And now we're talking about 15 rounds have been expelled. That's 15 lives that have potentially been saved, because after the first round goes in, everyone's gonna hear a pop and they're not gonna be just standing around. So yeah, this is definitely buying you a lot of time or potentially saving a life. If that was a standard handgun, which has about a 15 round capacity, you've wasted all your ammunition. That's it. Now you have to get to the next one. So bad guys are probably not very smart. They probably don't have many extra mags with them. So that's saving lives.
Now, I want to also point this out too. As I'm watching this, I noticed something. The window locks on this window are located right here. There's one right here where my hand is, okay? And there's a second one down here. So if he wanted to shoot this and get through it, he would have to make a big enough hole, get through the inner layer, get his hand through, risk cutting his wrist on the way through, pop one lock here, and then reach deeper to pop the second lock down there. That's the reason why they have two locks, by the way.
Ooh.
So you can't just pop one, you gotta pop two on this particular single hung window. There's different types of windows. This one has two locks. Now we're gonna do several more shots with a rifle. Mike, tell us what we're gonna do.
So we're gonna use the SIG MPX again. It is a 9mm. We're gonna try a new round. This is the Lehigh Defense Bullet, the Extreme Defender loaded by Underwood. It is extremely light. It's 90 grains. It's going very fast. This one happens to be the Plus P, so it's going 1475 feet per second, generating about 473 foot-pounds, about 100 foot-pounds more than the HSTs. We're gonna see how many rounds it's gonna take to go ahead and completely shatter the pane if it doesn't do exactly what the 22 did. Range is hot!
All right, nothing remarkable. We knew it was gonna go through.
Yep. It's a little more than 15, but
It was a little fun.
yeah. I mean, we could just say that, you know, we tried the 15 and no remarkable damage. It's still holding together.
It almost looks like SpongeBob, right?
It's definitely porous now.
Right. It's right. So, look, see how the inner layer bends and flex. It's a gooey material, right? It's exactly what it is. It's an adhesive. That's awesome. We've definitely penetrated it. Whatever's on the other side definitely took on significant damage. But again, when you talk about the ability for a bad guy to shoot out a window for purpose of accessing the other side, we're still not there yet.
No, definitely not getting in through there.
Okay, so earlier in the video, we took an AR-15 with a 5.56 round and we shot through the window into the ballistics gel. And the window actually slowed down the ballistics gel round, causing it to be not as bad as what it would be had the window not been there. Now we're gonna take another rifle, which is an AR-15, chambered in 5.56, and we're gonna shoot how many rounds through this window?
I mean, we're gonna see what we can do with about 10 rounds.
Awesome, and try to stitch it through to cause a bigger hole to see if we can gain access.
So it's actually not an AR-15, it's a MCX platform, which is very, very similar, looks like it. This is a SIG MCX Virtus again, an 11.5 inch. The AR-15 is the most common rifle platform out there. It's a very widely owned gun. This is, again, just a little different version of it, but ballistically, the rounds are gonna be the same as an AR-15. But yeah, we're using the SIG MCX Virtus 11.5 inch with the SIG SLH suppressor, using 55 grain XM193, which is the least expensive, most common round that you're gonna find for the AR-15.
Awesome, let's see what it does.
Going hot! Oh, you're hitting low.
good info.
Jeez, all right, I need to go put this glass in my house and in my store. This is crazy. You even hit the base.
I did on purpose.
Yeah, so it still didn't even shatter, which is...
This is the most damage though from one round.
Man, look at that. This is wild.
You're over 30 rounds right there. That's now that's standard capacity for an AR-15, but over 30 rounds, you're still not penetrating through. Bad guy is losing. For sure, someone's gonna find out and stop them.
For the purpose of awesomeness, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna move this pane back in front of the other pane. Now we're gonna shoot rifle rounds and pistol rounds through both panes. And we're gonna see if it can stop the bullet in between the glass. I don't know, let's find out. Mike, what are we shooting with?
So we're doing the SIG MPX again. It's a 4.5-inch barrel shooting 9mm ball ammo, so it's full metal jacket. The most common round that's out there for 9mm. Let's see.
Cool.
Going hot!
Got one little area to aim at.
And it went through.
Yep, and I got glass on my head.
Oh wow, but look, no clean hole. It almost caught it.
It did go through, but
Look at that.
It almost caught him. We can pretty much guarantee that no bad guys are getting through these windows no matter how many times they shoot them. I mean, they would just get exhausted and quit. Another thing that we tested too while doing this is when we actually opened the window pane and doubled them down, like the double decker. The bullet was almost stopped by the back pane. But remember, that window had been shot 30 times, jeopardizing the integrity, compromising the integrity of the window. Let's try it again on this brand new window, only this time it's gonna be uncompromised, right out of the manufacturer, brand new, out of the crate. I think that if we had any chance at stopping a bullet, this might be it when it's brand new.
We're gonna be shooting the SIG MPX again with a 4.5-inch barrel, shooting 9mm ball, 115 grain rounds.
So my prediction on this one, because the last one was so close to stopping it, I'm gonna give this one and say, all right, it's gonna stop it.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think that the round is gonna lose enough energy where it's not gonna have the momentum and mass to be able to push through. I think it's gonna get caught in the fourth pane.
I always bet on the 80-1. I think it's going to go through.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, this is the MTX, right? Okay, yeah, it's not gonna go through. I think it's gonna stop. Oh, should I?
I think it'll go through the first and get stuck in the second.
No, I don't think it'll go through. I believe it'll stop it right at
Second pane.
yeah, second pane. Yeah, for sure.
Going hot! Oh, it still went through. Oh, wow.
Caught it right there. Caught it.
Well, I don't lost a
You
buck.
can see it.
Where did the bullet go?
It's in there. It's not. It didn't. It didn't penetrate.
Let's
That's
open
caught.
this up. Where's the
That's
actual
caught.
bullet? Did it fall down in here?
That's what I was looking
Yeah.
at. I don't know. Looks like it.
All right, let's open it up. There it is. It was over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see more lead.
Yeah.
It's definitely in there.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, that's...
I probably even caught a lot on the other side. Can you see it from this part of the window?
No, the whole...
That's all just there.
wow.
It just-
Yeah. So
the
it's
impact
all, so it blew back.
There it is.
Yep.
That's the slug.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
That's it right there.
Oh crap.
Wow.
That's impressive.
This is the round, this is the bullet. It was found in the dirt. But I just want to show you the destruction of the bullet. It's not intact. It's torn apart. And the reason why it's torn apart is because it hit a stationary object like a window. So the window contributed to the fact that the integrity of this bullet has been compromised, which is pretty interesting. All right, guys, it's shotgun time. And I believe that shotguns might be the most common form of weapon in a home defense situation. I'm gonna go ahead and just sling that over to Mike, who's a weapons expert. Mike, shotguns.
Absolutely. They're very common and used for hunting in civilian applications, just to go ahead and do sporting clays, in military operations for opening doors with specific charge rounds that they're going to go ahead and use to bust out locks. Very common. We're going to be using a Remington 870, which is a shotgun that's been around forever, as well as using Black Ace's double-aught buck. It's traveling at about 1,350 feet per second. So this is not a light load. This is a pretty strong load. There's 9mm diameter sized projectiles that are going to be coming out at one time, followed by a plastic wad.
Should I expect like a wide, maybe not a hole, but a wide damage?
So right now we're shooting at about 5 to 10 feet away. There's going to be a little bit of spread, and it's going to be a centralized portion of damage that's going to have a lot of energy dumped into it. So I would say it's probably going to be about the size of a fist as far as the actual penetration in there. So it's going to be a really tight group. It's going to be very interesting. Going hot! Exactly.
Wow.
Fist size.
Yep.
And all the pellets went through. And there's your fist. That's your fist size. But remarkably, even though this has about 2,500 foot-pounds of energy, which is a lot, this still managed to hold up. If you're a shooter, you're only gonna have 5 to 6 shells inside your shotgun. You're not getting through this window pane. This is absolutely incredible. I was not expecting this.
Now, good guy standing on the other side of the glass. They're gonna get hit, they're gonna get hurt, but survive?
That I don't know if you'll be able to survive a shotgun blast at that range. You did see a significant amount of energy get scrubbed from this. Without ballistics gel behind, without being able to see how deformed those shells were or those shot were coming out, I don't know if you would be able to survive, but with such a tight group, hitting one single target, if they're behind that, yeah, they're not gonna make it. If they're 20 feet behind, yeah, there's a potential that there's enough energy scrubbed from each shot shell, or each shot rather, that you would be able to survive that. However, again, this is just, that's holding up. You're not gonna kick through that.
And even still in this application, bad guy on this side, can't shoot through, can't get through, won't get through. All right, guys, so far, the most powerful weapon that we've seen that's done the most damage was the fist-size hole, which penetrated the glass, and that came from the shotgun round. Now, we have an even more powerful weapon. I'm gonna let Mike tell us all about it. What's going on?
So here we have an AR-10. It is chambered in .308 Winchester. So .308 Winchester, just to give you an idea of how much energy it has behind it, because we've shot 5.56 today. So the .308 Winchester, 150 grain round, has enough energy at 600 yards. It's actually equivalent to a 5.56 round coming out of the barrel. So it's a tremendous amount of energy. It's used a lot in hunting applications and typically used for taking elk. It's actually one of the smallest rounds that you would use to take such a large game animal.
Fascinating. Now, the round, the size of it, if I'm holding it with my fingers, oh, there we go, okay. So that's the size of it right there. I just wanted to see the size of that compared to some of the other things that we've been shooting today. So that, to say that has a lot more power than what we've been shooting so far.
Oh yeah, 100%. It has a lot more energy. It has a lot more mass behind it. Before the 5.56 had 62 grains, the 9mm had either 147 or 115. This is 150 grains.
This will easily penetrate the glass.
100%. I have no doubt in my mind that it will penetrate.
Okay.
Whether it shatters or not, that's what I'm looking to see.
Okay, will we be able to actually shoot the glass multiple times with that round?
I mean, we could definitely do that. Will the glass stand? I don't know.
Okay, only one way to find out.
Yeah, let's get it done.
Let's do it. Oh!
That's just crazy. Oh my goodness. It absolutely hammered our stand. I mean, that was screwed down into it. That is just absolutely incredible damage.
So we had 2 screws which held this, this wood stand into this piece of wood here, which was supporting the gel. So obviously we penetrated the window, we penetrated the gel, we blew it off the stand, it broke the stand. I mean, it's probably back here in the dirt somewhere in that railroad tie.
I mean, look, the bullet went through the stand.
It ripped right through the stand, long ways.
Yep, and I did aim correctly, so it's not my fault.
That's just a testament of how much energy. So what I think happened is as that bullet tumbled through, it just had so much energy in it. Look at the jacket.
Is that it?
That's probably the jacket right there.
So is this what they, like shrapnel, like just?
Yeah, that would be shrapnel from the bullet. So it has so much energy and speed behind it that as it's going through, it's actually starting to shred itself apart because it just can't stand to keep together. The bullet just started, as you see what I was talking about, the bullet's traveling so fast and it's meeting such resistance that it starts to shred itself apart. So there's a piece of the outer core. So there's a lead core in the center and then there's copper jacketing around it. And that's just starting to shred it all to pieces. Just tremendous amount of damage. Ah, there we go. This is the money shot right there. Just the amount of force as that bullet's entering, and it had so much force behind it. Obviously, we didn't shoot multiple times. That's the glass actually coming out as a projectile. So if you're standing behind this pane and someone's using a 308, it's going to go through. Not only is the bullet going to hurt you, but you're going to have fragments that are coming out at high speed.
Wow.
As that energy is going through, it's dumping so much at once that this gel block is probably expanding so wide, and that energy is just punching, like you would see a karate kid just punch down on that wood and snapping it in half.
And I'm gonna point out the obvious, guys. Bad guy can shoot through the glass, but he can't get through the glass.
Yeah, no, that's still, I'm surprised that it is holding up. But as I had stated before, the bullets are traveling so fast and they're not scrubbing their energy, they're piercing right on through. So it's not dumping the energy in there and making a massive hole like the 9mm, which was just on that cusp of being able to get stopped. You're not surviving that. That's, you're totally gone.
It went through the.
It went through a solid piece of wood after 15 or 18 inches of gel.
Okay, guys, I promised you we would save the best for last, but before we do, I want to give a special shout out to Mike from We Kick Brass Gun Shop right here in West Palm Beach. Thank you so much, Mike.
Joe, thank you so much for having me here and being a part of the experience. If you're local here, we do have the first of its kind AR bar. You can build out an AR-15 right in front of us, and you can make it exactly how you want. If you're not local, check us out at wekickbrass.com.
Awesome, and I also want to give a shout out to Kelly at this undisclosed location for allowing us to shoot weapons here in a very safe manner. Thank you, sir, for allowing us to use the property and also your firearm skills as well.
Absolutely, I had a blast. Learned a lot too.
Great, thank you so much.
You bet.
Guys, please click the link in the description box below if you want to purchase windows anywhere. And finally, the time has come to have some fun. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So this is pretty interesting. It's not something we see every day. It's not every day we get to shoot an impact window with a bunch of firearms. But this right here, see that? The bendy, stretchy membrane? It's exactly what it is. That's the inner layer, the adhesive inner layer that holds the glass panes together. It bends and it flexes. Now I want you to watch because I'm about to do it. Here we go, you ready? Watch. There's glass there, so I have to be careful. All right. All these rounds, all these rifle rounds, all these pistol rounds, I still can't get my hand through the inner layer without hurting myself. That's pretty awesome. The integrity of this thing is awesome. The product is awesome. It's an awesome product, and super excited to be able to film this today. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. You know what to do.
You want that TV, don't you? You're gonna get that TV.
This is no joke. Okay, hold on.
This isn't as bad as I thought. Kick like a man.
This is serious, dude.
Come on, Susie. What, you trying to
This is
poke your
this
toes
is like it's rubber. It's like kicking rubber. It's the craziest thing.
No, it's not. This is awesome. There you go. There you go. Get some fury there, Spartan.
This is nuts. This is Sparta.